The truth.
Hi guys, it's Kath. Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year! I can't believe it's already 2021. We survived it, y'all. We survived 2020 and I'm so proud of you. It hasn't been easy and I certainly don't expect it to get any easier, but here's to hoping. Happy 2021. Clink. Today I'm drinking bubble tea, homemade bubble tea if I might add. I don't want to spill it. I didn't really think of the logistics of me chewing tapioca on camera, but it's okay. New year, new me, I'm gonna learn how to roll with the punches. So today we're going to be talking about my January TBR. I've never been one to put reading goals on my Goodreads because I just don't like the idea of putting so much pressure on my most relaxing hobby. But this year I decided to update my Goodreads reading challenge of 2021 solely so I can say that my goal is 69. I'm starting the new year off pretty ambitious. I don't really like set goals for myself for reading. I just like to read when I want to. So usually at most I read like 5 books a month. We're being a little ambitious here and we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reads. So the first book on this list is Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner, and I'm so excited to read this book because it's a sapphic rom-com. I've only read one sapphic contemporary and it was How to Make a Wish by Ashley Herring Blake, and though I really do love that book, it deals with a lot of serious topics and it's just kind of nice to read just pure sapphic joy. So I think this is gonna be the first of that for me and I'm so excited. Basically what this book is about is this Hollywood showrunner is photographed with her assistant on the red carpet. They're just laughing, they're just vibing, but just like that, everyone on the internet starts shipping them and asking them if they're dating. And as the two of them are working together on this new project, and they're also dealing with all the paparazzi bombarding them about their relationship, they start growing closer and they find out that the rumors may not be so off base after all. It just sounds fun, and that's what I really need right now. I just need something fun. And next on this list is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I know, people are like, Kath, you haven't read this book yet, what are you doing on BookTube? And it's a disgrace. I'm sorry. Especially with me being a classical studies minor, I literally study Greek literature for my degree. I haven't read this book yet. What am I doing? To my understanding, The Song of Achilles is a play-by-play of the Iliad by Homer, following Achilles' point of view with his lover Patroclus. And having already studied the Iliad, I already know what happens at the end. I know it's a really sad book. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what happens at the end of The Song of Achilles, even if they haven't read it, because it's history. My friend Spencer would consider it a spoiler, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. The next book on this list is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. This is a very well-known book that came out a few years ago. It even has an HBO show, I think, a mini-series starring Reese Witherspoon.
Why are you always so jealous of me?
Oh, Jill, this is not about me being jealous of you. This is about you being a brat, wanting what you can't have.
Can't have? Excuse me, the only thing I can't have is dairy!
I don't know too many of the details. The synopsis on Goodreads is very long and nobody has time for that. All I know is that it's about an Asian baby being adopted by a white family. There's a lot of suburban drama, which doesn't really pique my interest, but according to Read with Cindy's Best Reads of 2020 video, it actually surprised her and shit gets really crazy, so I'm gonna trust her because I think we have similar taste. The next book on this list is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I've surprisingly never read a V.E. Schwab book before. I picked this book up like 2 years ago, but I unfortunately DNF'd it. Not for any reason of the book, I just wasn't really at the right place in my life to be reading. But the synopsis is something that's totally right up my alley. It's about morally ambiguous or terrible people, which is my favorite thing to read about in books ever. And it also focuses on people who are older. I want to read more stories about fully developed, fully grown people, like people in their 30s or 40s. I think Victor and Eli are 32 or 37. And another thing I really love in books that this book has is that Victor and Eli were very close friends. They were college roommates, but in the present day they're sworn enemies, and I just love when characters have this rich backstory with each other that is kind of revealed to you as the story goes on. I fully expect to love this book, and I cannot wait because it has everything I love in a book. The next book on this list is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. It's about a girl named Liz who believes she's too black, too poor to live in her Midwestern town, and when her financial aid falls through, she remembers that she gets a scholarship if she wins prom queen, so she starts campaigning for that, and she strikes up this friendship and rivalry with a girl named Mac, who's also running for prom queen. I've always preferred rivals to lovers to enemies to lovers, just the tension of you really liking this person as a person, but you know, still needing to beat them for your own cause. The potential for banter, the potential for tension, I love it. I'm so here for it. And I know it's sapphic. I know Leah Johnson's next book is also sapphic, so I'm very excited to read about black sapphics and love. The next book on this list is another V.E. Schwab book, and it's her most recent book, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I can practically hear Spencer cheering in the background all the way from Louisiana. I'm actually reading a lot of Spencer's favorite books this month, and that wasn't intentional, but it's about a girl named Addie who makes a deal with the devil in France 1714, and she bargains to live forever, but is cursed to live a meaningless life where no one remembers who she is. And for centuries, she's lived on with that, meeting people and having them ultimately forget her until she meets someone who remembers her. I've heard very mixed things about this book. Everyone I know either loves it, like Spencer and my friend Kay, but I know a lot of people who hate it, like Mika from Mika Reads, Mayana, Monty, and I know Haley is determined to hate it. I'm just kidding. She just highly suspects she's gonna hate it. And I've also seen some of my friends on Twitter rate it 3 stars, so I really don't know what to expect going into this book. I think I'll like it. I really love books with beautiful prose, so I think I'll like it on that front. But I also hate slow books, so if this book is too slow, I might hate that. So I'm just going to go into it with an open mind and form my own opinion. The next book on this list is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. If you don't know, The Burning God is the third and final book to the Poppy War trilogy. I can't really tell you what this book is about because it'd be a spoiler for the Poppy War and the Dragon Republic, but essentially what the Poppy War is about, it's heavily influenced by the Second Sino-Japanese War. It's about a peasant girl named Rin who takes the provincial exam, the Keiju, to enter the highest military school in Nikara, but halfway through her education, she and her peers are thrown into the Third Poppy War with Mujin. R.F. Kuang is amazing. It blows my mind that she only wrote the Poppy War when she was 19. She studies Chinese history at Oxford. I think she just graduated and she's pursuing her PhD at Yale now. I just look up to her so much, and she describes this as a revenge fantasy towards the war atrocities that Japan committed against China. The setting and the plot and everything is very heavily based on Chinese history and East Asian geography. If you want to look more into that history, I'll link my friend Read with Tiffany's blog post down below. It's a very comprehensive overlook. I don't know what this says about me as a person, but I've never identified more with a person as Rin. She's a beautifully written, morally ambiguous character. Like I said, I love reading about terrible people, so I just love my little war criminals so much. I highly suggest that you look up the trigger warnings before diving into the series because shit gets very intense. Be safe. And the last book on this list is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Everyone was so hyped for this book when it was announced that it was coming out. The premise sounds amazing. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1920s Shanghai. The Jazz Age is one of my favorite time periods to read about ever, and the fact that it's a historical fantasy, which is my favorite genre, and it's set somewhere that's not in America or the West at all, it's set in Shanghai. I am so ready for this book. It's also childhood friends to lovers to enemies to lovers. The drama, the tension. However, though the premise sounds amazing and I love Chloe Gong, it's so amazing that she's published this at 21 years old and she's now a New York Times bestselling writer. But I've also heard mixed things about this book too. Spencer gave it a 2 out of 5. I've been seeing a lot of 3s, a lot of 4s, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared, but also excited. But like I said with Addie LaRue, I'm going to go into it with an open mind and form my own opinion. So there you have it, guys. Those are the books I'm planning to read this month. Will I read more? Will I not get to any of these books at all? Who knows? I will check in with you during my July wrap-up.
What?
I'm sorry. What?
If you got this far into the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to let me know what books you're reading this month. Links to support Black Lives Matter, as well as the Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps in China will be linked below. Please check them out and support. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, before you go, look at these socks I got for Christmas. It's a dog! It's so cozy. Oh! I almost fell. I have one that's an otter too. My brother says it's a walrus, but I'm not too sure. What do you think it is? I don't know where the other one is too either. I only have one now.